welcome to the first Cibus Lab webinar. My name is Andrea Meneghini, Director of GDO News Magazine, Cibus partner in this important project. This is the perfect opportunity for us to introduce Cibus Lab. It is a digital platform that will drive managers from all over the world up to Cibus, the most important Italian food exhibition taking place next May from 4 to 7. This platform gives access to product categories analysis, studies of Italian and global mass market retail, thematic ebooks, and it also hosts webinars and B2B meetings between industry and retail. A manual dedicated to tomato-based products will complement the first meeting, giving international retailers the opportunity to share their own experience. For this reason, we have the pleasure to welcome here the most relevant producers and major global retailers. We've set different goals for this webinar. We invited Massimiliano Rossi, Director of Grocery Assortment from Conad PAC2000A Group, the Italian market leader, in order to allow the international retailers to acquire better understanding of the dynamics involving production, industry, and Italian buyers. In Italy, tomato-based products are commodities and subject to a harsh promotional battle between retailers. Italian buyers usually have an excellent knowledge of production dynamics, and this makes their life easier in the negotiations activities. But will be also very interesting to listen to the international panelists that will help us understand in detail who are these big mass market retailers in their countries, their market share, their mission, and their size. Moreover, it will be very interesting to discover the relationship between tomato-based products and consumers in different countries around the world. Finally, we will explore the connections between these big mass market retailers and Italian industry production. We will listen to the major Italian producers. These days are so important for tomato products. The harvest is ending in the COVID-19 year, in which difficulties multiplied, together with the sales volumes in the epidemic acute periods, the panic buying. The main Italian tomato processing industries are multinational corporations present all over the world. They are extraordinary innovators, and really, we can't wait to know their future projects. But now, let's start the workshop, giving the floor to Régis Faudin, Directeur de catégorie Marché Épicerie de Groupe Carrefour. Bienvenue, Régis.
Merci. Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you for your invitation. I am happy to speak with you today, even though we have to use new communication tools at a time when the whole planet is being asked to stay confined. I have 3 children. It's important to strive to maintain a high level of quality and to be mindful of the origin of our food, us, and for future generations. With my team, we manage a category of savory groceries for Carrefour France, purchasing and offering merchandise. Consumer products business in retail is around, in France, 100 billion euro, and Carrefour works every day to develop its 20% market share. Among these sums, the grocery store is a market of over 6 billion euros, growing at a rate just above 5%. Carrefour savory fruits account for about 1.7 billion euros, and the pasta and tomato sauces 270 million euros in sellout, 3/5 of the pasta. As you know, despite the generally negative effect COVID has had on the economy, our business has actually benefited. These markets, which provide affordable options that allow you to stock up and cook at home, are appealing to people during lockdown. More than just simple products, these are essential items for the typical housewife's trolley and contribute to our price image. Often in our offers and promises, it is necessary to be effective, and having made in Italy on the package does not create a barrier to buying, It has quite the opposite effect. The French and Italians have a love of cooking that the northern countries often envy us for. It's my mind. For tomatoes, Italian origin is a guarantee of quality, sunshine, taste and quantity, price like a quality price, and reliable delivery. The national brand must always be 2 steps ahead on the howling brand if it wants to progress. As we say, the price and the promises must give a value to the product which respects all the coherence of the offer, more expensive than the private label with an established profitability and promises of strong origins and quality. Our target for 2021, so health-related promises such as organic or pesticide-free are a priority. We are always looking for a balance between the price, image, and finding players to promote our markets. The player must build partnerships with Carrefour. This requires the use of our tools like CRM, promotional activation, for example, or merchandising partnerships, or consumer-centric projects, or securing our supply on our blockbuster, like tomato pulps in particular. For example, for the COVID period, few essential elements in France, 82% of French people have been on a tighter budget since the crisis started. 63% prefer to buy online and prefer local products. The sale of organic products increased by more than 25%. 33% of households have spent more cooking, and 1/3 of households plan to keep teleworking. This is an opportunity for these products. The EGA context, EGA, it's a regulation of promotional investments in France, sort of law, penalized promotion in 2019, and therefore the market. In a more balanced situation like 2019, the trends are positive on healthy, like organic, whole grain, and Italian premium, or negative, or like on pasta, ready-made instance cooking due to the reduction of promotion. My law in France. But the pesto, concerning the sauce, the pestos and the sauces remain of the family, which always increases. In summary, be transparent about your way of working, secure volumes upstream, and participate in making Carrefour Group stand out. Thank you again to all the employees and manufacturers. We have remained mobilized, and we are working together to support all customers in the sector. Be well and see you soon.
Régie,
okay. Yes.
Régie, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And now I will give the floor to Michael Kowalski, buyer grocery of
Hello.
Western City Super in Hong Kong. Welcome,
Hello,
Michael. Yes. Hi, yes. Michael.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a big pleasure to be here among my colleagues and also the retail industry people. So I'll just share with you. I will not.
Sorry for the time, Michael, but we can't wait to hear you.
No. Here in Hong Kong is already 8 p.m. So it's already night time for already 2 hours. So I will have my dinner soon. So let me share with you, I will not share many percentage and numbers, just share some points with my PowerPoint. Can you see?
Yes.
Are you able? Yes.
Yes, Michael. You can talk.
You can see, right?
Yeah, wonderful.
Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, very well.
Yes. So, okay, let me introduce very quickly about City Super. I don't know whether you and the participants have heard. So City Super is a brand which has been in Hong Kong since 1996. We consider ourselves the top premium retailers in Hong Kong. We are very innovative. We don't have many stores. We are not a mass brand. So we focus more on quality, on the products from overseas. So in Hong Kong, we have around 4 superstores localized in the premium location in IFC and Causeway Bay. And we have others in Shanghai and also Taiwan, a company employing over 2,000 people. And we recently did some changes in our stores. We are trying to incorporate dine food into our retail store. So we use our products also incorporate into the food and dine concept. So as you can see, we have also food cook deli. As mentioned before, we introduce all our products, retailing, selling in the store, also into our restaurants. So this is a new concept that they have been doing in several countries, but we have been introducing this concept already for over 10 years. And the way we promote products is a bit different than other mass retailers. We focus more on giving tasting and teaching them, educating our customers how to use the products, how they cook. So that's why also we have own kitchens in our stores to make sure that we also invite cooks and chefs to introduce new products and how to use those products into the daily necessity. So myself, my name is Michael Edi Kowalski-Roda. I was born in Paris. My mother is Polish, Portuguese father. That's why I consider myself the 4P of retail. Master degree in international business, been in Hong Kong already for over 12 years and working for most of the retailers in Hong Kong. So let me give you a quick introduction. A quick introduction about the tomato in Hong Kong. So about the category space allocation, definitely we use similar concept as pasta or other categories. We don't have any defined locations, but most of our tomato categories are allocating. It's not mainly on price, but on social media, POPs indicated the customers. For the local consumption, the tomato is also an important ingredient in the diet of Chinese. Chinese, they are one of the biggest producers of tomato. And Hong Kong is even more because they have been under UK for over 100 years. So they still have the Western taste. For our range of Italian tomato, we have around maybe 90% are all from Italy. We try to make sure that all the categories which has a country of origin, we'll try to implement and make sure that we can source from the best. So for pasta, we'll have 100% of our pasta are all from Italy and 50% from Gragnano. And risotto also from mainly from Italy and the balsamic vinegar. So this is very quick overview. How is the situation of the tomato derivatives? So of course, due to the COVID, the pasta sauce has been increasing, the canned tomato, sun-dried, preserved. And the one that has been a bit on decline, which is the tomato jam, the sweet, more for relish and spreads. And the beans in tomato, this is curiously something Heinz has been very popular, but in this period, we have been a big decline on the tomato on the beans in tomato sauce and tomato dressing also. So the big question is what's next? Many people are talking about the healthy, the online, the private label. All these things have been in talks over the last 2 months, and we all agree that all this has a big importance: the convenience, the certifications. But the question is, what are we missing that nobody is thinking about? So what we have seen from the past, you know that Hong Kong has been with the COVID since January. We're already with the COVID for 10 months. So we have been since possible consumer behavior changes that might be influences for the coming months. Some will prevail, others not much. So the do-it-yourself, this is one of, it's not just for the tomato categories, but also for other categories. So when people are having this virus, so they will switch into a survival mode. Not just to save cost by doing it at home, but also to bring some experience, right? So we have seen a big demand. We are trying to push also anything related to do-it-yourself. So for this case, we'll have being a high demand on pizza sauce, on lasagna sheets, or carbonara sauce, everything that demands them to cook. And then the brand proliferation. This is the second point I would like to highlight. So at this time, it's not about pricing, promotion, or experience or convenience that we have been seeing on the past years, but it's more about availability. Even more in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong does not produce anything. So everything is import. So in terms of availability, we have been struggling recently over the last year. Whether 2 years ago we had the protests, so people were panic selling, actually leaving the city, but now it's totally the opposite on the panic buying everything that is available. So we have introduced a lot of new brands. So this is what I want to share with you, that all the new brands have been coming to the market with this opportunity of the COVID. For them to remain into the market, this will be the next point for them. So I highlight here 4 points that can be distinguished from others. So if you can make sure that your points are different from others, that all the big brands, like if you have a big company history or DOPs or manufacturer method that is different from others, so this is where you have to highlight. And we also have seen that some of the tomato old companies, they don't give relevant information about the basic of the products, whether it's with skin or without skin, what kind of tomato is the acidity level. So all this information also, which is important for the customer to make a decision, will have an impact if you want your brand to stay in the shelves. And of course, you need to consumer, the behavior is what I put on the PowerPoint, is B equal to MAT, right? So the behavior is equal to the motivation, the availability, and the trigger. So you have to make sure that after the COVID, if you can trigger your customers to remember that during the COVID, your brand was there, it was available for the customer to buy, most likely you'll succeed. And then you need also to understand who is your customer. So what we have seen is the remember, recreate, and relive. This is the third point. It's very easy. I'll go faster. So people are not just trying to do what they have been eating before, like junk foods. Before the COVID, people were eating a lot of different things, but they also want to have a little bit a high elevated dish, right? It's not just about easy to make dish. So they are trying to learn to experience what they did before during the dine on good restaurants. So we have seen also a high demand for meat sauce, good quality bolognese sauce or cacio e or arrabbiata, not the arrabbiata, not the classical, but something a little bit more elevated. And also with high flavors. So again, because people could not travel this year, so they have been trying to seek new flavors to make sure that they don't miss the traveling they have been doing before. And delay gratification over immediate rewards. This is a point that will continue to continue here for many years, which means people will not just think about, oh, I will buy something to eat now, and no matter this is can or jar, they will start to think more how will be the environmentally, whether the product will damage the environment or not. So the point here is that before we were focusing on big packs so people could consume more and get more price sensitive. But on the long term, we'll see also smaller packs having more influence because people don't want to waste food. Second point will be about the B Corp. Will make sure that your company is doing some CSR and being environmentally perform, and also about the packaging. We have seen more demand right on the Tetra Pak rather than the canned food. So again, more about the environmentally, the recycling procedure of the packaging. And that's it. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy.
Michael, thank you so much for your evidence.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's talk with Massimiliano Rossi, manager of Conad, the Italian market leader. Massimiliano.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning to participants in the meeting, to the colleagues. Thanks, Andrea and Cibus, for the invitation. I'll try to share my presentation. Let's see if it works. If you can give me a feedback. So.
Okay, Massimiliano.
Okay, are you seeing it?
That's good.
Oh,
that's good.
Okay, perfect. So I'm Massimiliano Rossi, Director Grocery Food of PAC2000A, that is one of the Conad cooperatives. And who is Conad? Conad is a consortium of cooperatives of entrepreneurs with a turnover of 14 billion euro, of which around 5 billion are made by our private label. It means with a crucial role for our private label with up of 4,000 SKU divided into main lines and with an incidence of around 30% in the supermarket channel. In Italy, the average is more or less 20%. Then Conad is present on the market with more than 3,000 stores, 70 hypermarkets, 250 superstores, but our core stores are more than 2,500 supermarkets, Conad and Conad City, and finally 400 small margherita stores, 20 Sapori and Dintorni stores that are that sell our premium brand for private label, 250 discount, and finally, besides these, 170 concept stores, as well as parapharmacies, optical shops, pet stores, and petrol stations. But summarizing, since 2019, Conad has been the market leader in the Italian mass market retail with 15% more or less of market share. Specifically, who is PAC2000A is the largest cooperative, is made up of more than 1,000 entrepreneurs, members who oversee around 1,500 stores covering all of central and southern Italy with a turnover of more than 5 billion euros and a market share of around 23%. So it is PAC2000A is the market leader in central and southern Italy. Now let's enter in some matter that I would like to focus. The role on the shelves of tomato derivatives as perceived by retailers. We have different products with different roles. So traffic builder for sauces and pulp, margin for seasoned sauce, loyalty for ready sauces, and service for concentrated. But a first matter is we made the core of the market, I mean sauces and pulp, a commodity. So what always happens in these cases, we did it together. The guilty ones are on both sides of the table. I mean suppliers in search of volumes at any price and retailers in search of best prices to generate volumes. So it's the usual mechanism of the dog chasing its own tail. And preserved tomato, over the years, now the result has become a commodity. So we have 80% of the market that is in the commodity area. But what has COVID taught? We learned that another way is possible, that we can, and I would like to see, we must work together. It has happened during the lockdown when we have seen the tomato-based products boom, and they have been in Italy one of the categories with a greater increase from when the people forcefully have started again eating at home. At that time, neither suppliers but nor retailers speculated. So all in all, we did a good job together. The lesson learned is that we can work together not only to make commodities, but also to achieve positive results, in this case for the supply chain. To sum it up, first commodity, then joint management of an emergency. Now we need the next step. I mean to continue working together, but this time to create added value. How to do it? Let's see, first of all, the market from a shopper point of view. And let's rule out a myth. It is not true that Italians know this product so well, and consequently its use. But pay attention, because this is not a threat. On the contrary, I think this can be a great opportunity. And one more key point to focus the market. COVID has accelerated the polarization of prices. So on one end, in the premium segment of the offer, the customers buy safe, certified, local, sustainable products for which they are willing to pay more. On the other end, they seek a convenience, also because of the loss of purchasing power linked to the current crisis. In between, we find the mainstream that is further compressed, an event that the epidemic has only accelerated because it was already happening since 10 years. One of the consequences, the lack of knowledge of the category and the increase of premium range are areas on which suppliers and retailers can work. An education about the product is necessary, and I fully agree with Mr. Kowalski. And some more thoughts on the assortments. The shelves today are the result of an exaggerated depth acquired over the years and related to the purchases more than to the sales. So the category is anonymous, and we must make it the protagonist by education on it, as I said before, and together in the stores, but not only. This is one of the keys to recover value for a commodity. Together we have made it, so now I think together we must solve the problem. The goal is to ensure the correct control of the premium range with the correct perceived values by the customers. How? Fundamentally working on the product, and this means with the buyers, first of all, we meet the suppliers continuously, analyzing on site what is possible to do on the product. I always say that we must talk about the product where the product is born. And many cues and ideas came up on the product and on marketing strategies to implement in our stores. If we have to explain the product to the customers, first of all, we must first of all understand it ourselves. So we must explain for this category the importance of the concepts of food, social and economic sustainability. And let's not forget that customers themselves are demanding it. The epidemic tragedy has caused a radical change in their choices. They are looking now for healthy, safe products and so on. So, I mean, we have two key points to work on. Of course, we cannot forget to work on the low and entry prices sales, because that will also increase. The rise of discount stores is something that we are facing in Italy. As Conad, we are meeting this demand with the operation called Bassi e Fissi. It means low and fixed with our red logo in order to give a continuous convenience on an everyday low price base. But in conclusion, we have quality on the one end and low prices on the other. But as priority, let's work now on quality, and let's do it together. Suppliers and retailer, I mean, on price, we had worked already too much. The way to an added value is the quality. Thank you.
Massimiliano, thank you so much for your evidence. It was really interesting. And now I had the pleasure to hear and to give the microphone to Filippo Corsello, Director International Subsidiaries of Mutti. Filippo.
Hello, hi, good afternoon to everybody. I'm Filippo Corsello, the Director International of the subsidiaries of Mutti, and I will try to share with you some slides just to give you some insight about the Mutti Group that I think many of you already knows, and also some insight about the innovation. So let's see if... Did you see the screen?
Oh, not yet. Yes, now. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. So I will not go, of course, point by point on the history, but these two slides for me are important just to underline three main points that are three main insights concerning Mutti. So the first one is the history. Really is more than 1 century. The company is operating and is operating on this segment and this category, tomato processed. And the second one is that even when the company was much smaller than now, DNA of innovation was part of DNA of the company. And you see that in, for example, 1951 and 1971, Mutti was really taking something completely new on the market with the tomato paste in tube. That was a disruptive packaging for that time, and also with the pulpa that is our hero today, also with this cold process, and so a proposal to the consumer of something new, different from the peel tomato that at that time was the major items. The third element is the family, because normally a lot of company, almost all the company, they have a founder. So we have a picture of the founder in our history, but we have another picture of the present CEO that is still a Mutti part of the Mutti family, is Francesco Mutti, and the fact to be a family group is especially for an agribusiness, for me is very, very important, because if you want to work on the quality, on the differentiation, you need to work on the agro-food, you need to work on the raw material, you need to work with farmer, and it takes a lot of time, and not takes a month, it takes years, and you need to go in the same direction with a lot of determination, and that's the family allows to do that. The second part of the history, the most recent one, is concerning internationalization of the company, and some new innovation that we will talk later, the latest one. Mutti is 100% Italian tomato. So the production is 3 factories with 660,000 tons capacity, 2 in the Food Valley, so nearby Parma, in fact, that here the quarter in Montecaruglo, and the other one in a village called Collecchio. And the third one is in the south of Italy, that is Fior d'Agosto. For the commercial part, of course, the headquarters in the Italian market with all the organization around, and 4 subsidiaries. 2 in Europe, one is in France, taking care about France and Benelux. The other one is in Nordics, Scandinavian market. And then 2 at the opposite side of Europe, just to make easier my job in terms of timing, US and Australia. The vision, that is the vision of Mutti is really to become the preferred premium tomato brand. It's all over the world, let's say. And to become the preferred tomato brand, you need to work on quality and on differentiation. And to work on quality and differentiation, again, because we are talking about preserved tomato, we're talking about agro food business, you need to work closely and in a strict partnership with farmers. So for that, I think that is very important. The Pomodorino d'Oro, the golden tomato, is a prize that we put live 20 years ago, more or less. And that was done exactly to recognize, both in terms of economics, but also in terms of make them aware about the fantastic job they were doing and the improvement they were doing to the farmers, their job, and the fact that they are working on the quality year after year, trying to improve in effort and in continuous effort. I would say economics, because we pay the tomato more the average of the market, the raw material, of course, but also it's not just economics, because you know that farmers is a very tough job and not always recognized. And we have chefs and many others that are coming to the TV or to the media quite a lot, not farmers. So for us also was an occasion to put to the attention of the consumer this work that for us is very important. Coming to the innovation is about standing out, yes, but when you are working on this category, tomato preserved, is not a so easy task, because if you think to the tomato preserved, you think to passata, polpa, tomato paste, etc., products that are on shelf since probably 50 years or 16 years. But again, that is our word, so we need to be committed to that. And so I want to present two different innovations. One is polpa da torini, that is exactly in this world of tomato preserve. And that means to work on a variety that is baby roba tomato da torini that is very sweet, that probably start to be quite common also on the fresh tomato, and to give to the consumer a proposal of something convenient like a polpa with this fantastic small fruit, that torini, that is completely naturally sweet. Innovation for this product that you can do only during the crop is not an easy task, again, because you cannot make tests every month. You make a test producing during the first crop, and then the second production and the capacity to improve is the second year, and so on. So really a lot of commitment, a lot of passion to reach result on that. The second innovation I want to present is a little bit more rich word in terms of capacity of innovation, because we are talking about pesto sauce, and so much more capacity to work with ingredients. But again, let's say a Mutti way, because this pesto is very different from the proposal that you have on the market, because the green one is made again with a variety of green tomato. So we are using tomato, the base is only tomato, and the variety of green tomato is exactly the one to make a different offer with less fat and with a different organoleptic taste and flavor to the consumers. Coming to the results, because we have seen a lot of, I think, nice and beautiful things, but then the relevant question could be, but that is relevant for the consumer exactly? I think yes, and our numbers are showing that the consumer appreciate what we have done and what we are trying to continue to do along the years. So we were coming from, it took just 1994, 14 million euro, small, North Italian company, to become a 378, and now 2020 more than 400 million euro, with a lot of wide distribution, of course, not just Italy, but also in other markets. Other markets were talking about the internationalization of the company. France and Benelux are an important part. Europe definitely is the most important part, with Nordics and Germany, but not only. Australia is definitely one of our important markets, together with other countries, and US, where we have the subsidiary, is definitely a potential market for us, very, very promising. Again, for us, it's not just to be present as preferred brand, it means to have also result in terms of consistent result in terms of leadership. And that is a picture of last year, December last year, where we see, of course, the Italian market share is more than 30%, and the France one, 15% leader, and as well all the Nordics, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Slovenia, second place in Germany, in Netherlands, and reaching now the second place also in Belgium. All that to say, at the moment, the European market leader with 11.6%, and that is for retail. And just to finish and to conclude my presentation, and the other important business for us is food service. Food service is not mentioned here in this presentation for the numbers, but definitely our presence in food service is very important, because working on quality, our first and natural, let's say, partner are really the chefs and the good restaurant and the good chain of pizzeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Filippo. Thank you so much for your speech. Okay, now we make a little change to the program. Yesterday, we recorded the testimony of Metro's manager, Ulrich Rogowski, head of canned goods. So please, if the production can show the recorded video, we will see the testimony of the manager of Metro.
There is a common motivation that unites all those who love food, from the local farmers to the chefs. This common motivation is the passion to make good food. Inspired by this passion and in collaboration with many chefs, we created Metro Chef to provide you a choice of ingredients and products of great quality. Good food is made with passion. Metro Chef. Ingredients for your passion.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ulrich Rogowski, head of canned goods for Metro Deutschland, and welcome to the first Cibus Labs webinar.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Andrea. Nice to meet you for the first time in this Cibus webinar. It's a great pleasure for me to represent Metro Cash and Carry in this Cibus fair and also to the audience. So it's a great pleasure for me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, let's talk about your company. It's a big company. Can you present it in a few words? For example, market share, relevant features and focuses, etc.
Yes, of course. So Metro is placed in 34 countries all over the world. We are in Europe, in Asia, in many countries. The company is worth for 27 billion of sales. We have 678 stores around the world. Our EBIT is 1.169 million. And we are proud really to have 4.7 million square meters of selling space. As we discussed today also about tomatoes, tomato is very important for Metro. It's a core business. In my category, the canned goods department is one of the most important business for our customer. So let's say, who is our customer? Our customer is mainly the professional customers. It means the restaurants is our first target group, but we have also the traders and institution and services. So, but these are our main pillars of our target customers. And our assortment and our range is built on this target customers, mainly on the HoReCas. We have in our stores from 20 to 30,000 products in each store. The stores can go up to 20,000 square meter. Additionally, we offer also to the customer the delivery service, which is growing in the last year huge. So there's a huge demand also for this kind of service, and we do it as well for our customer, of course. As I'm responsible for the sourcing, Andrea, we have different brands and we have an architecture of brands. So in this slide, for example, you can see our different kind of brands, and each brand is dedicated to a special quality of the product. For example, we have Metro Chef, which has a higher quality, but we have Metro Premium, which tells by the name that is a premium product and dedicated to a special quality of the product. And we have also basic products, and this product we develop under the Aro brand. Okay. So when we talk about Metro, Metro is, and I'm working for Metro since 25 years. I'm quite proud to work in such a company. And the company has different opportunity than other retailers. So we know our customer. We have a very good relation with our customer day by day. They want to be informed about new products, new innovation, for example. We have also consultants working together with our customers.
Ulrich, this is a particular year, and has COVID-19 changed the behavior of your customers? And if yes, how?
Yeah, I mean, it has also affected, and it has affected Metro, of course. And in the first days of this virus, when it has started, there was a huge panic buying in our stores, even that we could not in the first days really refill the shelves. But we work in Metro, we like to work in Metro always one step ahead. That means we think, okay, what will come? And we took actions to avoid this out of stock situation, we have all over the world platforms. One for the Italian product is based in Italy, in Milano. It's a huge platform, and this platform delivered all over the rest of the world to our Metro stores. So we were prepared in terms of logistic, but also I have to say also in the relation with our suppliers, because the relation for us with the producer is very important. Our target is to work directly with the producer and not for only 1 year, because we do tender, we do auctions, yes, but our target is to work for a long-term relationship with trustful with our producer. That is one of the key, and we don't want to change every year the producer. That is not our target. But COVID, so as I said, COVID has changed our life in the stores. We have to fulfill the availability of the goods, which is key for our customer. And the customer by himself, so they decreased to go to the restaurants, but the consumption in-house was increasing. And what we recognize is that the customer pay more attention to the quality of the food. It means in terms of organic products, they are increasing. The quality of the product is increasing. They want to know the origin of the product, where it comes from. And for me personally, I mean, I can buy the tomatoes all over the world. I have to say the Italian tomatoes, and I make a lot of comparison, the Italian tomatoes are the best for me. There are many you can buy from Egypt, you can buy from Spain, from Greece, from Turkey. Yes, of course you can, but we pay attention to the quality, and Italy play an important and huge role for our articles, I have to say.
Okay, back in the live of this webinar, and now I want to give the floor to Lorenzo Fontanesi, Sales Director of Private Label Goods of Consorzio Casalasco company.
Hi to everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation. I am Lorenzo Fontanesi. I'm from Consorzio Casalasco del Pomodoro, and for today I would like just to share with you some pictures, some slides, just introducing our company and who we are and what we do. Now I'm trying to okay. Let me check if is okay. Sorry, is in the end. Now we. Okay, it works. You can see.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry. Okay, let's go. Casalasco. Who is Casalasco? First of all, I would like to present our mission. Support our customers and clients and partner implementing an ethical managing model all along the supply chain, safeguarding quality while respecting workers, legality, and environmental. This mission is our goal and is our aim. And now I would like to spend just a few words about Casalasco. Casalasco is a cooperative, is an agricultural cooperative dedicated to the cultivation, processing, and packaging of 100% made in Italy industrial tomatoes. Of course, this is our main business. Today, with around 370 farmers, 3 production plants, and a base of 310 million euros of turnover, we represent the first tomato canning chain in Italy and the third in Europe. We produce a very wide range of products, of course, starting from the tomato-based product with all the derivatives. But we are not producing just tomatoes. We are focusing in other category, but it's not the day for speaking about that. It's just we remain focused just on the tomatoes. The range of product we produce is cover all the family of tomatoes, starting from, as already explained, the tomato-based product till the ready-to-eat pasta sauces. That for doing that, we need a lot of steps during the supply chains. Of course, the aim of Casalasco is the work that we made every day with our farmers, because of course the farmers is the owner of the company. And in respect to all the ethical and all the environmental structure for the workers, for the the structures for the implementing of the future of the company and the farmers, we are presenting now one of the best company for offering tomatoes on the market. We are specialized on the production of for private label and co-packing, of course, but we have also inside a part dedicated on brand. We are owner for Pomi brand and the Rica brand, both in Italy then in the export market. About the number of the company is just a summary of what I tried to explain before. 370 farmers associated, more than 7,000 hectares dedicated to tomato crop, and more than 560,000 tons of fresh processing capacity. 3 production sites, all located in the north of Italy. Our headquarters is located in Cremona, 1 plant in Parma, and the 3rd in Piacenza. We have more than 1,500 employees, and the turnover is more or less 310 million euros. As a supply chains, we are the first tomato industry supply chains in Italy and the 3rd in Europe. About the product, I heard before something about the diversification and of course also the innovation. Of course, these 2 points is our key points for the futures. Of course, so now we can offer a very wide range of combination about product, packaging, recipes, and so on. This one is just what does it say? A matrix about the combination of the category that we can offer and where we work. The tomatoes, of course, our main business, sauce and seasoning and ketchup, soup, broth, juices, and of course beverage. The metrics that I can show you is the results of the investment, the results of the strategy that in the last more than 20 years Casalasco put for reaching the goals to increase the offer for our customers and of course the quality for the final customers. About the tomatoes, we can offer different combination since the innovation from combi block and Tetra Pak in aseptic and retort systems, the traditional glass jar line in different sizes and shapes, and also pouches, tubes, and cans. That is the most traditional packaging for the tomatoes, but that is still the most important packaging for the consumer. The consumer can recognize the product since more than 50, 60 years in cans, of course, in tubes since the innovation that Mr. Corsello says before, after the introduction of the concentrate in tubes, and of course the pouches and bagging box regarding mainly for food service on the or HoReCa market. About the other category, of course, is more or less the same. The most important thing is try to combine for each kind of market, which is the tasting that the consumer and the retailers in case can achieve, and the right mixing between recipes and packaging in order to present to the final customer the right combination of that. of course, is not sometimes easy to understand, which is the expectation of the consumer, because sometimes the consumer cannot understand immediately what are present on the shelf without the explanation. Also in the label, of course, mainly, but not only in the label of the packaging, but also in the system of product you want to offer of that. And for me, this one is one of the most important things that for the futures, both the producer, the retailers, has to concentrate in order to learn the customers to understand what they can buy on the shelf with quality claims, environmental claims, combination of on price also, what does it say? Combination of convenient between price and quality. Last but not least, I'm finished my time.
Yes, but you can finish in a few seconds.
Just a few words.
You have just finished. Okay, wonderful.
Oh, yes, I just finished. This is the last one, because last but not least, of course, the quality standard that is that's determinate the quality of the offer that Casalasco can do on the market, and what the consumer can recognize in the product that we can offer. There is a very long list. Of course, the quality is a very is a word, and then inside of that, for the futures, we think and we believe that increasing the quality standard, just increasing the quality standard, we can take our customers as a partner. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lorenzo.
Thank you very much. Sorry for the delay.
Now we fly to United States, and I asked to JD Campbell, category manager of Loma Specialty for Hy-vee, to switch on his microphone, and he has the floor.
Good morning, guys. I guess good afternoon to some of you elsewhere. So it's an absolute pleasure to be on with you guys today. I'm going to share my screen here, make sure you guys see that. I want to talk a little bit about our stores and some about our brand. You guys see my screen here okay?
Yes, JD. Okay.
So once again, I'm JD Campbell, category manager of specialty and import foods here at Hy-vee. We are headquarters in West Des Moines, Iowa. We were founded in 1930, celebrating our 90th year anniversary. So super proud of that. We have 270 retail stores in 8 Midwest states, listed there below, 84,000 employees, $10+ billion in annual sales, of which $21 million in authentic Italian purchases and $28 million in authentic Italian sales. So we really started going big in authentic Italian about 4 or 5 years ago. I had the pleasure to be on board when we started that. We were at about $18 to $17 million in annual purchases back then. So it continues to grow and grow each and every year as we have focus in the brand. About 5 years ago, we started to develop our authentic Italian label called Gustare Vita. So we went from 0 sales to $7.1 million in sales in just a few years. So through the course of the year, we've seen a 10.5% increase in our private label sales. We have 112 units. So the brand is really focused on premium quality. So like our authentic Italian pasta, bronze dyed, it's all organic. So everything is imported from Italy. Nothing is Italian sounding or Italian style. It's 100% imported. So like I said, it's 100% premium based on quality. We have super high standards, and we have a strong vetting out program here internally just to make sure that we give the absolute best quality and best presentation of our products that we can. So in relation to this webinar here, talking about tomatoes, our tomato items, some of those can be seen there to the side. It's $7.1 million in sales, up 313,000 or 26%. So during COVID, like some of the other speakers presented as well, we've seen a huge spike in sales, right? So some of the traditional items here, like the ragus and the pregos, were out of stock. We have really good relations with our imported vendors and suppliers, where we were able to stay in a good stock status to really see those sales take off in our imported brands. So since we've launched, what we've really recognized is the consumer will pay for quality, and they will pay for premium. So it's really helped us internally with sales and both in gross profit. So once we rolled out this program, we took a look at the category. So we discontinued some of the lower end or lower quality domestic SKUs. So some of your pastas that you could buy for 99 cents or $1, and we try to trade them up to the Authentic Italian program that we did develop. And it's been a huge success in our stores. So we have 16 feet to 20 feet in our stores dedicated to all of these premium products. So just to speak a little bit about our tomato products. So we have, a pizza sauce, we have a pasta sauce line, we have both a 17.6 ounce and a family ounce program as well. So once we rolled out the program, we had the 17.6 ounce and really found that it was really leading the category in sales. So we developed a larger 26 ounce to have that family size. We also have the whole and diced tomatoes. We have San Marzanos. We have sun-dried tomato paste, and all of these items have been just fantastic for us. So talk a little about the categories in general. So the pasta sauce category within our stores in the US is a $28 million category, up 18%. $3.2 million of that is Authentic Italian sales, which is 11% of the category. So that just kind of speaks about the quality and premium. So that percent of sales continues to grow each and every year. Our Star Vita brand pasta sauce, like I mentioned, is up 20+%, up 25% in COVID. Some of our branded suppliers that we really had a strong partnership and relationship with are doing really well. So Rayos, they have both imported and domestic items. I don't carry the domestic, I only carry the Authentic Italian imported, and that brand has exploded in our stores this year, up over 200%. Agrimani, have a strong partnership with them. They're up 142%. And the canned tomato category is 8.3 million, up 15%. $500,000 of that is the Authentic Italian category, and that's really driven by our private label. So the San Marzanos and the whole dice that you've seen on the premium side, and that's up 60%. So that just goes back to the strong relationships and partnerships that we've really developed with our private label suppliers. So one of the things I consistently challenge our vendors is to consistently grow the program. So our goal when we developed our Authentic Italian label was $6 million in sales. And as you've seen a few slides ago, we're well over 7 million. So, our goal now is 8+ million. So I'm really challenging them to go bigger and to go better. And all of this is in partnership with the Italian Trade Agency. So they've been a great partner with us, and they continue to bring new vendors and new suppliers with us and help partner in our programs as well. So plans for continued growth are line extensions to our private label brand. I'm currently looking to develop a high-end pasta sauce. So our current pasta sauces retail for $3.49, $3.99 now. So I'm looking for a line that's $4.99 to $5.99. So we're looking at some yellow tomato sauce items. I'm looking for a potential bolognese sauce. Just looking for continue to drive that premium quality brand in our stores. Also launching some jarred sun-dried tomatoes. I've been looking for the best bruschetta in the world for several years. I've been unable to find it at a price point that's really what I need for my consumers. So that's an item that I continue to search for. And I'm really looking to strengthen my branded partnerships this year. So we had the gentleman Filippo from Mutti on just a little bit ago. So we're relaunching the Mutti brand in our stores, and as they're going to be shipping out here in the next couple of weeks, we're launching 11 SKUs, just trying to drive home that authentic premium quality to our stores. Always looking for new opportunities, looking for new vendors, the next latest and greatest innovation, the next opportunity. We have 2 Say Ciao promotions per year. That's in partnership with the Italian Trade Agency. We have a September promotion that is just wrapped up, and our largest is in February. We give away trips to Italy. We've given away Vespas. We give away a ton of free pasta. We do a ton of BOGOs. So everything that we do is just to drive sales and just drive home that it's that everything authentic Italian is really premium. So that's all that I have. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to field some questions as well.
No, for the moment, thank you, JD. Thank you so much. That's all.
Thank you for your time, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you for you. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Really, thank you. Okay. Now we are going to hear Federica Adamo, export manager of Gustibus Alimentari. Federica.
Good afternoon, Andrea, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks a lot for inviting us to this lab. Thanks a lot for the opportunity. I'm going to share our presentation. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Can you see the presentation?
Not yet, not yet.
Just 1 second.
Worries.
Okay.
Okay. It's opening. Okay, go.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce our company. Gustibus Alimentari was founded 10 years ago, thanks to the hard works of Mr. Pecorino and his family. Gustibus Alimentari is a dynamic agri-food company located in the heart of Sicily. And we are producer of cherry tomato pasta sauce ready to eat. We choose modern and safe agro-industrial practice in order to obtain high quality ingredients to produce vegetable preserves of great value. In our company, there's a big team of experts in the field of food and nutrition technology that works every day with the passion to create, of course, our bigger range. For us, it's very important to follow these 3 steps, like production, transformation, and commercialization. Production, it means that our cherry tomato and the Datterino tomato are grown for 50% in greenhouses and 50% in open field. The largest production comes directly from Sicily field, that is synonymous, of course, of high quality. Once the raw material arrive inside our company, inside our plant, is checked by evaluating its Brix degree and its pH, and we work the raw material we work it in 24 hours, and after 24 hours we have the product ready, and it is ready to be delivered to our client. The company, the Gustibus Alimentari company, was, we are a very young company, but was quickly recognized as one of the leaders in Italy in the sector of tomato pasta sauce. Our main business is the private label, because we work a lot with the private label of which client that contact us, but we also offer on the market our brand that is Gustibus. Regarding our quality, the company is continuously processes and the package the product in compliance with the main food safety and quality standard. We are certified IFS, BRC, RSPO, UTZ, and since 3 months, since we build a good relation with the client in Israel and also in the United Arab Emirates, we will be certified kosher and halal soon. Our retail, our market is focused, of course, in the retail channel, and it is divided geographically between the local market, that means in Italy, and the sales made in Italy represent the 75% of total turnover, while the export share is something like about 25% of the total turnover. At the moment, we are very strong in Italy and the rest of Europe, but since 2 years, we are going to become very big in the rest of the world, especially in USA, in Canada, and in Japan and South of Korea. At the moment, I can say that we are going to innovate our plant. This is why our CEO, Mr. Pecorino, is going to make a lot of investment, and we are at the present doubling the production capacity to follow the growth in sales of our client. At the moment, we can consider us like a small company, but we are going to become bigger and bigger year by year. We have a big project in the future. We are looking at food service channel, but at the moment, I cannot give you any information regarding it, but this is what we are going to do in the future. We will start to make this new project next year, and we hope that we can also become one of the leader in this channel. This is our company, and if you have any question, please just ask. I'm here, and let me know.
No, Federica, that's all. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you, Andrea.
And now I'm glad to introduce you Lucia Gonzalez from Colombia, category manager of Koba Group.
Hello,
Lucia?
everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, perfect. Let me share your... Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to Andrea Menigini for having me here today. It's a total pleasure being here today speaking about D1 stores. First of all, let me introduce you a general review of our brand. Koba Colombia, D1 stores owner, is a large retailer in Colombia, pioneer and leader of hard discount segment. It sells more than $2 billion with only 700 references and over 1,500 stores across the country. D1 stores have been operating for 10 years, completely revolutionizing the way of shopping of Colombians. We achieved a 70% of penetration in Colombian homes, and we achieved a market share of 16%. Our winning model works simply and quickly. We are always looking for a better quality at a lower price. We have limited assortment and have developed private labels. Our supply chain embraces efficiency and a good productivity. As a result of everyday low price model have no promotions in the stores. The customers find in each store a basic basket and innovative product with the best quality and the best price ever. This model has been able to deliver many products in Colombian homes that were not reachable a couple years ago. As for example, we have imported wines from Chile, France, Italy, and Spain, beer from Germany, olive oil and prosciutto from Spain, pasta and sauces from Italy. This particular category, tomato products, was not particularly strong before the one positioning. You can see here our store's performance. You can see that it's very small, and it's like a hard discount format. And here you can see our portfolio, some of our private labels. 80% of our portfolio is represented by private labels. The remaining 20% in commercial brands. 50% of our goods are imported and 80% produced by local industries. So you can see here our brands. Deliciati is one of my favorite brands. All the products is imported from Italy. Our most important corporate value is customer satisfaction. Here's our greatest motivation. For this reason, we have 3 key pillars. That is best quality at very low price, good supply guaranteed, and the best customer service. Now, I would like to tell you a brief summary of history of our brand. D1 stores began selling 10 years ago, just 500 SKUs, included only commodities and a few differential goods. Today, D1 stores are reaching 700 SKUs. And we are still growing, stick to our corporate values. Our main shareholders are Grupo Valore, that is part of the Santo Domingo Group, one of the largest companies in Colombia, Capital Group, and Hayek Holding. The D1 stores has around 15,000 employees. Finally, we had a continuous growing of 40% during last couple of years, and our strategic visions include 1,600 stores opening around Colombia, an extra opening of 400 stores in the next year. So that's all, everyone. I would like to thank Andrea again for this kind invitation. If someone has some question, I would like to answer, of course.
Lucia, thank you so much, and thank you for your evidence. Now we are going rapidly to the end of the workshop, and I want to give the floor to Eddie Effernan, the Director of Business Development of SYSCO. Eddie?
I'm just going to try and get the presentation.
Yes, Eddie. Hi.
You have me. Perfect. I'm just going to figure out now if I can get the presentation up. Yeah, perfect. So you should be all able to see that now in a second. Can you see my presentation?
Not yet.
Okay, hold on. This well, I think when we hold on.
Yes, it's arriving. Okay, we see.
Perfect. Let's go. Brilliant. So thanks, guys, for the opportunity, first of all, to take you through this presentation. I'm just going to explain to you a bit about SYSCO and SMSI and what we do as a company. So the first slide I put up was kind of this one. Was like to start with a bit of a joke. It was 2 pictures of Ireland versus Italy. I'm based in Ireland, hence why I put this one up. So the first one was the time we played Italy in Rome in the quarterfinals, and we got beat 1-0. And then I wanted to show the second game we had 4 years later in the US, where we won in Giant Station 1-0. And it was just to show that sometimes, no matter how small you are, even if you get beat the first time, you know, you need to come back and try again, because, you know, dreams do happen and you can win. So I just thought I'd put that one up there for you guys. So SYSCO as a company. So we're a food service company. We're based in the US in Houston, Texas. With turnover this year to be around the 55 billion mark. So again, we're based all over the US, but we have companies in other parts of the world as well, which I'll go over at the moment. But primarily on the US, we have 198 separate food service companies within the US. What's good about SYSCO is we only have 7 delivery points, which typically for canned tomatoes means you only need to actually deliver 2 delivery points. We have 2 massive warehouses called redistributional centers based at the bottom of the US, and they basically ship products to all of our different companies around the US. So that's where I speak about the US. Then in terms of the rest of the SYSCO companies, we split into 2 different ways. So we have what we call the SYSCO's Americas. So we're the largest food service company in Canada, with about 26 locations up there. We do about 100 million into the Caribbean. We have a company called IFG that do 100 million into the Middle East. We have a company called MICA in Costa Rica. We have a company called SYSCO Panama based in Panama, and we have a joint share in Mexico. If we go to the other side of the world then, in Europe, we have SYSCO Europe, and that's made up of Brakes, the largest food service company in the UK. We're Menigo in Sweden. We have what we now call SYSCO France in France, obviously, and then we are also part of Constellation, which is a buying group based in Europe. So in Constellation, you have Chef Culinar, German food service company, and Mar in Italy, who you're probably all well aware of. So that just explains a bit about SYSCO and what we do. In Canada, we do about 48,000 cases of canned tomatoes from Italy a year. And in the UK, I think we do about a 4 million turnover. In the US, we do a lot regionally on Italian canned tomatoes, but we also do about 1,000 containers per year from California as well, which is obviously one of our strong selling points. So that really explains a bit about SYSCO as a company. So the mission for us was to market and deliver great products with exceptional service. And the vision was to become our customers' most trusted and valued partner. And this really, since the onset of COVID, has been quite a big thing for us. So in order to deliver on that process, SYSCO decided that they wanted to set up regional offices within the supply chains. So I run the office in Ireland. We also have an office in Hong Kong, but all buying decisions are made in the US. So what do? We basically split into 3 different categories. Business development, which is myself. So typically I would spend half my life in Italy, traveling around, looking at different facilities, meeting suppliers, building relationships. Unfortunately, with the onset of COVID, that hasn't been quite possible at the moment. But last year, I was at a pasta factory in Italy. They won a contract. At the moment, they supply about 800 containers a year of pasta to SYSCO. So we have had some quite successes. We have sourcing, so we run reverse auctions, requests for pricings, etc. All of that comes from our office in Ireland. And then we have our quality assurance. So what they do is they look after all the facilities outside of the US. And they manage them from a point source inspection where we inspect the goods before they leave for the US to make sure that the goods are in a manageable and quality level that's acceptable for the US. And what the team really is built to do is explain to the suppliers how better to supply the US. And that's what we do. Every day we get up and we help companies like the ones on this forum to work within the United States, even if they haven't worked within there before. We work through a process, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Again, this was this is how we geographically split at the moment. So as you can see, I look after Italy and the rest of the world this side, and then obviously Hong Kong look after the other side. So again, the way we work is we work on a Catman basis. So it's a 6-step process. So typically what I do is I find suppliers, I register within this process. I make sure that they're able to supply the US, that they have the market intelligence, anything from down to the logistics, the understanding of packaging, etc. Once they do, each supplier is put into this process, and it's a very fairly run process, because what we do is we allow this to decide who will be the winner of the business. So it's very much, you will walk through this process of different gateways, whether it be our customers' requirements, whether it be QA, whether it be pricing, to a final negotiation perspective, where at final negotiations, what we do is we sit down and we discuss with you how much of the business we would like to award and how much of the business you would accept. It's worth saying that when in SYSCO, for us, it's very much about a mutual partnership with our suppliers. We wish to grow the business together. And if I speak specifically about Italy at the moment, we've actually started to use brokers within food service. These are people that help us pull the product through to our customers. So they're out there at the moment working in a range of different products, whether it be Italian olive oils, whether it be canned tomatoes, whether it be pasta, just to help us expand our whole range. We have a dedicated Italian category manager based in Houston, who looks after all our Italian products as well. So again, for us, it's about the mix when we look at our suppliers. It's about them knowing the knowledge, the marketplace, delivering the best products, sets the highest standards from SYSCO, whereby we do look for GFSI certification, obviously the FDA, etc. SYSCO have their own policy when it comes to doing a supplier visit where our QA people will actually come in, they'll visit your factory. I've spent a lot of time around Naples looking at different factories. We'll go in, we'll do a plant assessment, we'll write a report, we'll make recommendations, and then we'll pass you for packing brand. And what I always say is that when we do visit facilities, I always feel like we leave them a little better than when we first got there, and we make recommendations based upon US requirements. And it's worth saying the US is very different to Europe in that we look for different things, not impossible things, but just different, such as food security, such as secure supply. So whereas some suppliers may only go back one step within the supply chain, typically from a US perspective, we may go back 2 or 3 different steps. And we reward that as part of our business. So again, that's us as a whole. I hope I've explained this. Obviously, I know time is very limited, and apologies for coming on slightly late, but I hope that covers everything if anyone has any questions.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we are going to the end of this webinar, and let me say that Cibus Lab today told about tomato derivatives, but also give us the big opportunity to understand better the retailers present in this workshop. Very interesting, all the speakers, all the speech. And we talk through the voice of the protagonist of Italian and worldwide retail mass market, and through the narration of the technological evolution and strategies of the major players in industrial production. Next book will be published at the end of this month in Italian language and English language, and we'll talk about frozen categories. And next webinar will be on 10th of November. Cibus Lab has played its role to put in contact and give knowledge. From 4th to 7th May, all the protagonists of this webinar and many other market players from all over the world will have the opportunity to meet each other. And I hope that today all of this workshop was interesting for you, and I give you the appointment for 10th of November, talking about frozen categories. Bye-bye from Andrea Meneghini, from GDO News, from Cibus Lab, Cibus, and Fiere di Parma. See you next time.